Alright guys, and here is the answer video for the 7.5, 7.6 trig ratios, the homework you guys had in class today. So let's go ahead and start off with number 1. Alright, so we're solving for x. It says to round to the nearest thousandths. I actually did it to the nearest tenths when I worked it out, so that's how I'm going to do it. So again, we start off like we did yesterday. You're going to look at your angle. So I've got 53, so 53 degrees. And we're talking about the opposite over the hypotenuse. Opposite over the hypotenuse, remember, is sine of 53 is equal to x over 24. And the sine of 53 is 0.396 equals x over 24. Put this over 1, and you solve for x, and you get x is equal to 9.5. Now when you start doing these, you're going to start noticing a pattern. If your variable is on the top right here, and your other numbers on the denominator, all you're going to do is cross multiply the sine of 53 and the denominator. Okay, so here we have x equals 9.5. Okay, number 2. So here we go. We start with our angle. We've got 51, and we're doing opposite over adjacent, which is, I did it wrong as cosine, it would be tangent. So we've got the tangent of 51 is equal to the opposite over adjacent, so opposite is x over 63. So we find the tangent of 51, which is 1.23 equals x over 63. Right, then we cross multiply. All we're doing is doing 1.23 times 63, so x equals 77.8. Okay, yep, so I did it wrong the first time. It's going to be tangent because opposite over adjacent. Okay, now number 3. This one is just like the one we had on the homework yesterday. They're wanting to know this value right here. Okay, but you need to look at the picture. You need to think about, what do you have? You have two right triangles. You've got this big right triangle right here. Okay, and if we use that first, we can solve for this whole length from the corner here to the corner here. So from there, we're going to use the angle 24, and we're going to do opposite over adjacent. So that's going to be the tangent of 24 is equal to 50 over, and let's go ahead and give that whole length a variable of y. That's the whole amount. So we'll do y. Okay, so the tangent of 24 is 0.45 equals 50 over y. Okay, and then you also start noticing when you have the variable down here on the denominator, all you're going to do is you're going to divide this number by the tangent. So it'd be 50 divided by the tangent of 24 is equal to, so that means that y is equal to 112.3. So that is that whole amount. Okay, so I'm going to write that here. Y equals 112.3. And I'm going to erase the rest of this. Okay, so we solved for the whole amount. So now we're going to use our second right triangle, which is going to be this triangle right here. Okay, so we're going to use 51 as the angle. And we're going to do, let's do this as z to solve for that part. So we're going to do opposite over adjacent, so that's tangent again. Opposite over adjacent is going to be 50 over z. And to solve for that, we're going to take 50 and divide it by the tangent of 51. And we get z is equal to 40.5. So z is equal to 40.5. And basically we know that z plus x equals y, right? Because this one plus that one equals the whole amount. So all we're going to do is subtract those two numbers. So 112 minus 40.5 3 minus 40.5 is, so x is equal to 71.8. Okay? All right, on to number 4. All right, so this guy is a surveyor, and I don't have the problem, I'm just going to have to read it. He's standing 118 feet from the base of the Washington Monument. This is the Washington Monument. We don't know how tall it is, so that's x. And he's standing, the surveyor is standing right, whoops, the survey is standing right there. So this distance is 118. And he measures the angle between the ground and the top of the monument to be 78 degrees. So you want to know how tall the Washington Monument is. So we're using 78 degrees, and we're doing opposite over adjacent, so that's tangent equals x over 118. So we find, all right, we do our cross products, so x is equal to the tangent of 78 times 118. So that means that the height of the Washington Monument is 555 feet. Okay, this one's not hard, it's just a matter of setting it up. All right, here's our next one. Okay, here's our E right here. Through the E. There's the E. It wants to know how tall the E is. It's telling you that this angle right here is 1 degree, and the distance from this point to the E is 20 feet. Okay, so we know we're going to use 1 degree, and we're doing opposite over adjacent, so we're doing the tangent of 1 is equal to x over 20, so the tangent of 1 is equal to 0.02 equals x over 20. Then we do our cross products, and we get approximately 0.35 feet is how long or how tall that E is. All right, now on to number 6. All right, so we got our car. This is the ramp. Okay, so the height of the ramp is 6.2, and our angle here is 20, and it wants to know what is the total length of the ramp. So we want to find this. So we're doing opposite over hypotenuse, so that's sine. So sine of 20 degrees is equal to the opposite, so 6.2 over the length of the ramp. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to do cross products, and we are going to take 6.2 and divide it by the sine of 20, and we get x is equal to approximately 18 feet. All right, number 7. Okay, so the way that this should be labeled, you've got that pipe-looking thing. It's telling you that this is 37 degrees. Whoops, let's do that again. This is 37 degrees. Okay, this distance up here is 28.25 inches, and it wants to know how long should that pipe be, and here's your right angle. Okay, so we're using the 37 degrees, and we're doing the cosine because we're doing adjacent over hypotenuse, so it's the cosine of 37 degrees is the adjacent, which is 28.25, over the hypotenuse, which is x. So to solve for that, we're going to find the cosine of 37, which is approximately 0.799 equals 28.25 over x. We do our cross product, so basically all you're doing is doing 28.25 divided by 0.799. So you get that it should be approximately 35 inches long. Okay. Last one. All right, so this one is giving you that this is your right angle. This is 73 degrees. This is 6.28 inches. This is C, this is B, and that's A. So you want to solve for CB and AC. Okay, so you can do this a couple ways. The way that I chose to do it is I solved for this angle which is 17 degrees, because 73 plus 17 is 90, and I know I need 90 more degrees to make a triangle because my right angle is 90. So then I ended up doing, for CB, I did the sine of 17, so I'll do it right here. Sine of 17 degrees, okay, because that's opposite over hypotenuse, so that's the length CB over 6.28. Alright, so I'm going to take the sine of 17 times 6.28, and I end up with CB is equal to 1.8. Alright, so now to find AC, I'm going to do 17 again, but I'm going to do the cosine of 17, because now I'm doing adjacent over hypotenuse. So it's AC over 6.28. So I do the cosine of 17 times 6.28, and I get approximately 6. Now if you can do it a different way, that's fine, but remember, these are still going to be your same answers. Alright, well, I hope you guys understood that. If you need any extra help, please ask me in class. We're going to move on tomorrow to something else, and you guys have a good night. Bye-bye.